Whoops. I hit the wrong screen thing again. I do that not every time, but I do it a lot of times. It's because when I hit the thing in the list, it like scoots up one. So I'm so used to just hitting the one at the top without knowing that it's gone down one. You know what I'm talking about.
CB's in there already fucking griping that, well, had I known that you were going to do this, I would have watched it. He's seen it a million times already, sure. But, bitch, I told you.
I thought we mentioned it because we watched it.
Yeah.
We normally
saw it a long time ago.
We normally like would watch the movie that we were going to review like on Sunday night.
Yeah.
But in this case, we actually ended up watching it. I think we watched it Thursday night. So I'm pretty sure that we mentioned on Friday show that we were going
to review it.
I said unless we watch something else, which we did not. Because last night we just watched stuff that we'd already reviewed.
We made comments about it on Friday's show, but so we didn't want to talk too much about it.
Yeah, because I said don't ruin it because we're going to talk about it on Monday. And
Me and Jen grew up with this movie.
This movie, it seemed like it was on cable like all the time in the 80s. It was like
on HBO.
I don't even
Cinemax, because all the nudity, Cinemax.
Yeah, Skinemax.
They
called it that for a reason.
Yeah. They had us thinking, we were like 13, 14. They had us thinking this was a porn movie.
I mean, so much nakedness.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is that John Hurd, who is in this movie playing a character named Oliver, he actually, when he first read the script, it's like, and they asked him to be in it, he didn't want to be in it at first because he thought it was a porno.
Yeah.
It's not that. I mean, it's pretty tame by today's standards.
It's
but
got
it is,
a lot of nudity.
I would call it an erotic thriller,
yeah.
And it definitely does have a lot of nudity in it.
And what's funny is that I would have thought that I would have liked it more when I was 12, 13, 14, but I didn't. I remember thinking, yeah, this is a pretty cool film, but then it never really. I don't think I ever sat through it and watched it all at one go.
I might not have either.
I think I was just getting little pieces of it because I don't remember fully understanding the movie. I just think, oh yeah, it has some cool shots in it. Man, that chick's got a nice ass, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're probably so distracted by the nudity that you're probably like, what story? What is that?
But seeing it as an adult, after I've seen the original from back in the 40s, me and Jen, we reviewed the original.
Yeah, a while back.
The original was pretty cool for its time.
That's one of my favorite horror films from the 40s. From the 40s.
It had a lot of sexual undertones, some almost kind of lesbian kind of undertones to it at certain times. It's a werecat movie, basically.
Yeah.
Instead of werewolves, it's people that turn into cats.
Mm-hmm.
And it explains it in this version. I don't think it really explained it in the first version. It explained how they got to be the way they were through thousands of years ago. There was a cult of people sacrificing their children to these cats, to these big cats. You know, like jaguars and fucking shit like that. Fucking pumas. And over the eons of them doing it, the souls of their children merged with these cats, and the cats became human. So it's not so much humans becoming cats. It's cats who can become human. And the way it rolls is this. If you have sex with them, they will turn into a cat. They can only turn back into a human after they kill somebody.
Yeah, and it has to be a person.
It has to be a person.
Can't be an animal.
Right.
That's the rules.
Yeah, and they can't crossbreed with humans. They can only crossbreed with their own kind. So they're incestuous.
Or they can only have sex with another person that's like them but without turning into a cat.
Without turning into a cat. But there seem to be so few of them that they tend to be having sex with their relatives.
Yeah.
And mating with their relatives.
Yeah.
And they're not humans, they're cats. They're cats that can become human. They're godlike cats. So they're kind of like goddesses. She's like a goddess and a demigods. They're not human. They can just take human form. They can live as human.
I guess. Although I kind of, like I said, I kind of got the impression that they were like a werewolf, or they're kind of like not one or the other. They can just turn back and forth.
In a werewolf, it's a person that's been bitten and they become this thing that can turn a man.
Yeah, this is a lot more of like a spiritual.
Yeah, the way her brother describes it is that they are cats that have human souls. That their true form is that cat.
Yeah.
But they live as a human. They can. Or they can live as a cat.
Real well-trained kitties in this thing, I gotta say. Although I heard that I think they're supposed to be black leopards, but I think they were another kind of cat, like another kind of leopard that they kind of dyed black because I guess you can't train black leopards apparently.
Oh, they're the same. I've seen people.
But you know what I mean? I don't know. That's what I heard anyways.
Yeah, I know there's probably more of them now than there used to be because you can breed them like that. It's a leopard. It just happens to be black, and they still have spots. You can see it if you look at them.
Even black leopards, they do have spots. Yeah, it's just that all their fur is
they're kind of bluish color and with black spots if you look at them at a certain angle. But what I liked about the movie is that it did change a bit from the original. It was a lot more sexual. It was a lot more nudity, which is probably what they wanted in the original, but they could have never gotten away with it.
I got to sneeze.
Okay, you got to sneeze. All right, come on, what? All right. That was the first thing that they changed.
Okay.
Second thing they changed, they made it a Southern Gothic. It's taking place in New Orleans.
Yeah, in Louisiana.
Yeah. And it's shot on location.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that diverges, see, I used to live just 45 minutes from there when I was living in past Christiana, Mississippi. That's where I used to party all the time down in the quarter. The goth clubs down there. Only thing that diverges from my understanding of New Orleans is that part of this takes place in a zoo in New Orleans, and I don't remember any zoo being in New Orleans.
Well, they had to have a zoo because it was a big part of the original story.
The original movie.
Because I think the original movie, I think it was set in Chicago.
Yeah.
Although that might have been the Bronx Zoo. Please correct me.
I thought it was Chicago.
I thought it was Chicago too, but I could be like completely
And it
wrong.
was taking place on a set in a Chicago zoo.
Yeah.
It was a very cool looking set of an old school style zoo that's very cruel, really. It's just
they shot most things on sets back
just then. Concrete cells, you know what I mean, little with the animal in there, and then it has to go inside. So unhealthy, very depressed animals in those. You could never do it today. You couldn't even do it when this movie was made. They talk about that because the New Orleans Zoo, as portrayed in this movie, is like something from the early 1900s. It looks pretty much exactly like the one out of the original movie.
Yeah, it looks
really cool. All these fucking.
They're like homaging which they do. I mean, they changed the story quite a bit, which I'll get into, but they did on purpose try to. The zoo looks pretty much the same, and there are two very iconic scenes from the original Val Lewton film from 1942.
Yeah.
I think I said it was from 1944 before. That's not right. It's
the
1942.
female confrontation scene in the fucking swimming pool, the enclosed swimming pool. They did that.
The swimming pool and the Lewton bus.
And the Lewton bus.
Unquote.
Yeah,
quote unquote.
And they're both handled pretty well. This movie, David Bowie does the fucking opening title track.
Yeah, he didn't write the music. He wrote the lyrics. Yeah. Giorgio Moroder wrote the music. He also wrote the score for this film. But it's a great song. There's actually a couple different versions of it. The movie version is a lot more slow and slinky sounding.
It's not the album.
Whereas the album version is kind of a lot iconic upbeat and kind of more punky sounding.
I kind of like the album. They're both good.
They are both good.
But I like the album version off of Let's Dance. Iconic fucking Bowie album. If you don't have it, go ahead and just end it now. That's fucking... You don't have that fucking album. I can't help you. If that is one of the best albums ever made. Was David Bowie's Let's Dance. And it is a pop album. But it's so fucking Bowie the way it was done. Carlos Alomar had fucking Stevie Ray Vaughan was on guitar. That was an epic fucking album. Okay. But that version I like a little bit better. The movie I think has aged beautifully. It's an all-star cast now. You go, oh, he's in it. He's even fucking Barney from fucking Silence of the Lambs is in this. He plays a cop.
Hey, it's Barney.
It's fucking Barney. Yeah. Thank you, Barney. Yeah, he was the guy that was watching over Hannibal Lecter and shit. He's in a couple of them.
Right.
He's in it. Fucking
Ed Begley Jr. is in this.
Superman
O'Toole
1
is in this.
Superman 1, Superman's high school girlfriend, the redhead's in it.
And you get to see her boobies also.
She's got a leading role in it, and they show her nude, totally nude, in several different scenes. Epic body.
She's not naked for as long as Natasha.
Right.
Nastassja Kinski is legit naked
to half
in half of this movie, and I don't even think that's an exaggeration.
Yeah, and you know me, I like the human body and fitness and fucking working out. I can give a full rundown of fucking what I saw there in the female nudity, and there was male nudity too. Okay?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of like sex scenes.
Yeah, you don't really get to see like any pain or anything, but
Yeah,
it's just,
I guess you don't. It might be kind of suggested.
Yeah,
McDowell nude through it.
I mean, he's pretty open about being naked. He doesn't.
And then what's his name? Ed Begley?
No, he wasn't. It was John Hurt.
John Hurt. That's right. Yeah. Fucking Malcolm was nude all through fucking that one movie. It's damn near a porn movie. Fucking Caligula.
Well, Caligula.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not shy.
He don't care. Okay. The story itself is a tight story. It's very good. The acting is very, very good. The writing's good, very good. The special effects were good for the time.
Yeah, decent.
And there was they had a couple of scenes where they're talking about the legendary past of where the cats come from, and it's like right out of a Frazetta painting. I was like, oh, I see what they did. Yeah, it looks really good. It looks like something out of Frank Frazetta, fucking Conan novel, you know. They kind of come from a mythical past. It did have a couple of problems. In the scene where she decides to leave town and run it, it's a long story, but they go through to like a kind of like a dream sequence where her dead brother tells her where their race had come from and their past, and then she finally absorbs the idea that, yeah, I guess I am a cat people. And then she decides to just turn around and go back.
I am a cat people.
It was kind of ham-fisted how they showed that.
Yeah, I'll kind of get into that because I kind of wanted to... I mean, I actually liked this movie much better because I had not seen this since the 80s. Like I said, it was on cable all the time. I'm not entirely sure that I ever sat down and watched the whole thing in one go. I might have, very well, might have, back then. But when we were watching it again, I was just kind of like, I'd been wanting to rewatch it because I was like, I really, really like the 1940s original. Like I said, probably my favorite horror film of the 40s. And so I've been wanting to rewatch it, but I didn't remember that much about it other than it being kind of smutty and Malcolm McDowell and Nastassja Kinski being hot in it. But it was actually much better than I remembered. They did change some shit, but I like that they homage, and they had reasons for like changing the shit that they changed. Camp Guy says Malcolm McDowell is that the same dude that was in Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's who I'm being for Halloween this year, in case you guys missed that.
She's doing gender swap fucking Alex.
Yeah, I'm doing Alex DeLarge from Clockwork Orange. And he was also naked in that. So, you know, I mean, like I said, he's not shy about being naked. He doesn't care. Somebody points out, Sound God points out, that's Brian, by the way. Also in Cat People is Ruby D. She plays Famali, who was Mother Abigail in The Stand. That's right. I knew I fucking recognized her from somewhere.
Right.
God damn it.
Yeah, she plays kind of like a New Orleans voodoo queen kind of chick who's working for one of the cat people. And
I love that her name is spelled female.
Yeah, but
it's pronounced Famali. And she kind of explains like toward the beginning of the film that it's like when whoever was filling out her birth certificate like put
the name
female,
in the wrong
like
places.
put the wrong in the wrong place or where the gender was supposed to go or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's what everybody called her. So I thought that was kind of funny. Which, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the original film. But I do remember, I mean, the whole thing with the 1982 remake, the whole brother angle, the whole incest angle, all that kind of stuff, that was not in the original. Now, the core of the original story, which was about a woman who turns into a cat when she is sexually aroused or jealous, like, you know, experiences sexual jealousy. That was from, now the 40s film was a little bit more ambiguous in the sense that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought they never told you outright if Irena actually did turn into a panther or if that was just her imagination. I mean, I thought she did, but I think they kind of left it like so there was plausible deniability that maybe she didn't, that maybe she was just imagining it. But this movie, there's really no ambiguity. They are definitely werecats, and they definitely turn into cats at a couple different points.
One time she went out and was hunting. Her boyfriend takes her out to the bayou All right, and they living in they spend the night, a romantic evening. You know, fucking right off of a bayou house, kind of like what we call it in Mississippi or Louisiana, a pirogue. Pirogue just means like a houseboat, boat. Yeah, okay. And they had guys that lived on the bayou and just fished and sold fish, but that lifestyle is pretty much gone now. All right, but they're showing it in this movie, and he stays at his friend's pirogue. It's kind of like a love shack. Okay, right on the edge.
Oh man, don't get that song stuck in my head.
Yeah, right.
Oh, too late. Too late.
They almost have sex, but she pulls back because
I'm gonna cat out and rip your face off.
Cat out and have to kill you. She's in love with him.
You know.
So instead, she just runs around and fucking hunts animals and eats them fucking barehanded and shit. A rabbit. She catches a rabbit. When she comes back, she's covered in blood. She's like, "Don't look at me." So she kind of like catted out without transforming, because I was just sticking with what the brother said, that they weren't humans, they were actually cats that can take human form. That's really what they were. So she was just wanting to go back to what she really was, which was a cat, a hunting cat. So she could kind of do that and still maintain human form. But it didn't quite work out in human society when you come back fucking running around naked out in the fucking bayou.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like most people would frown on that.
They'd frown on that. Right.
Just sad.
Now, I was watching it, and I know this area. You know what I mean? I used to party in these areas, and fucking probably, they showed them going across the dam. Fucking, we had this big freeway that would go across the fucking ocean, so you could go from Mississippi to New Orleans. And it was, what was that thing called? And it was almost, I think, 25 miles of road that goes over. That's how big that bridge is. Causeway, that's what we call it, the causeway. And that's where they were hanging out in a little pirogue. And I knew that area. And they were showing them having like a romantic little evening dinner with the sun going down. Looked like something out of a fucking out of some old song or some old movie, and I was like, yeah, that looks good on film, but in reality you'd be getting eaten to death by mosquitoes, because
you're
dealing with an area that's kind of like very similar to the Amazon basin, you know, just
because like I said, it would be the same in Florida. It's like in the middle of summer. Yeah, it's like, oh, let's have a romantic dinner like out on some dock or something, and you'd be like sweating your balls off.
Yeah, you're like, yeah. Now they were wearing
love bugs everywhere.
They were wearing jackets, so I guess it was more in the winter time, which would have meant it was about 70 degrees. But still, there's bugs. You just you can't get away from down there.
Like I said, it's kind of
so it wouldn't be romantic. She'd be like, "What the fuck did you take me to this dump? We're in a fucking swamp."
Oh, a bug just went my mouth.
Fish, man. Look at snakes everywhere and roaches, cockroaches would be all up in that shit.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's a lot more romantic in the movie, in the movies. Because you can't smell it, and you know what I mean. A while back, we got a super chat from Stu. Thank you very much. Long time no see, but hasn't been that long.
Yeah, a couple days.
But what's up? How was your day? Pretty good. You know, just regular ass Monday.
Klaus is in. What's up, Klaus?
Yeah, Klaus didn't realize we were streaming and said I gotta go wake Tanya up. That's pretty funny.
Tanya's up. She's up there.
I mean, we always stream on Monday at this time. It's always a movie review on Monday.
She says she needs to visit. Yeah, you want to come down to Norway? You can come hang out with us. Save a lot of money. You can stay out here. You can stay with us.
Yeah, we got lots of room.
We'll take you to the club.
We got lots of room.
Just when you're ready, we got lots of room. Just when you're ready, fucking contact me and I'll tell you where to go and I'll pick you up at the airport and bring you over. Just make sure you can cover your bar tab. And we'll buy some food. Cook it up here. Got this fucking great kitchen that's almost done. I'm going to start my cooking show.
They finally got the sink and the dishwasher hooked back up yesterday.
Yeah, the dishwasher's not working right. It's not draining.
Well, I mean, it's not draining.
He thinks he knows what's wrong with it, though.
But it's still...
Tomorrow we have that.
But we have water in the sink now, so we can actually wash the dishes
power
in the kitchen instead of in the laundry room. So that's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much done.
Now,
the painter lady came today.
If y'all are going to come down here all the way from Norway, we'll take care of you. Because you don't want to stay here in one of these hotels, because a dump hotel here is $100 a night.
Well, at least, yeah.
Even if it's just a dump. Yeah. A good one's a couple $100 a night.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to pay at least that to get something decent.
Two people, a good night at the fucking bar here, $150.
Yeah, our tab is usually
$140, $130.
$130, and then it's $10 each to get in.
Yeah, and you got to drive, and I got transportation. My car's like a fucking limousine, big in the back, all leather interior. You love it. Big American car, air conditioning, blowing cold. Yeah, that's right. Laundry, got everything here.
Yep. All right, so let's get back to the movie because we're gonna get distracted.
Multiple bathrooms.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Klaus said Florida. Yeah, it's in Florida.
Yeah, right outside Orlando.
Brian said, "Are you guys ever coming to LA?" I don't know, man. Maybe. I might have to go out there.
I don't have a reason to go to LA.
I don't either. Like I said, the company I work for is based out there, so there might be something where I have to go out there because of that, but probably not.
I was actually born there.
Yeah.
But left in '81. My parents were from the South. They didn't stay there long.
Yeah. Now, CB says the clocks went back an hour in most countries. Yeah, I don't think ours go back until next weekend. But I have to check. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. They didn't go back this weekend, did they?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's next weekend they go back. So, interesting. One thing that I didn't know about this movie here is that the guy who directed it, Paul Schrader, I was like, yeah, I know that name because that guy also directed American Gigolo and Hardcore with George C. Scott, among many other things. And he also wrote and or co-wrote a bunch of Martin Scorsese movies, including Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and The Last Temptation of Christ. So this guy is like no slouch. And so the whole story behind it, like I said, they kind of... the reason why they added the brother character, which was not in the original film. In the original film, the Catwoman was from Serbia, and she came to, I think it was Chicago. I'm pretty sure it was set in Chicago, the earlier one. And she falls in love with a guy who sees her drawing at the zoo, which kind of happens in this one too. And she ends up marrying him, and then he kind of ends up, and then she can't have sex with him because of the whole cat thing. And he says he's fine with it, but apparently he's not, because then he starts kind of making eyes at this coworker that he has. And so his wife starts to get super jealous and starts stalking the other woman and all that kind of stuff. Now, that little bit of the story is they kind of do it in this one too. But in this one, Nastassja Kinski's character, whose name is also Irena, which is what the woman in the original one was named, she comes from Canada? Didn't she come from Canada? And she comes to New Orleans to stay with her brother. Now, her and her brother had been separated as children, and she had been in foster homes, and apparently the brother had been looking for her all of this time and finally found her, so now they're, like, reunited. Their parents were circus people.
Yeah.
You find out later that their parents were also werecats and were also brother and sister. You know what I mean? So there's, like, a whole incest thing going on there, too.
But they're like cats. Incest doesn't affect them negatively.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to affect the genes.
But even though Nastassja Kinski, even though she is... I don't know how old she was when she made this movie, and I don't really know how old her character is supposed to be.
Probably.
She's supposed to be, like, in her 20s, I guess.
Yeah.
But because she tells the other woman, Annette O'Toole, that that she's a virgin, she never met anybody that she wanted to have sex with, so she doesn't know that she's a cat person, at least not at a conscious level.
Yeah, she was... By drinking alcohol in New Orleans, the movie came out in '82, but the drinking age was 18 then.
I think she's supposed to be a little bit older than that, though.
She's probably about 19, 20, 21.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah. She's young and naive.
Yeah.
And the American chick, the redhead she worked with, the one that was in Superman 1, was amazed that she was a virgin.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like something out of the realm of a possibility. It's not like she was 40 and a virgin. You know what I mean?
I mean, that happens too sometimes, but it's much rarer.
Right. There's usually a reason for that. But, you know, it's like, really? Okay. In this day and age, you know?
Yeah, she's like...
Because, you know,
okay.
81 was damn near the 70s. The 70s were fucking free.
She was like, I'm not judging. Like, I'm not, you know...
Yeah.
But see, the thing about it, even though Annette O'Toole, kind of gives her job, because Irena, not Nastassja Kinski's character, much like in the original film, she's drawing the cats at the zoo, and the zookeeper, Oliver, who's played by John Hurd, kind of sees her and starts taking a shine to her. But he also kind of had something going on with Annette O'Toole's character. His name is Alice. I think they had kind of broken it off. Like, they had some kind of entanglement in the past, but they were just friends now or something, but she was still carrying a torch for him. I don't know. It's kind of complicated. So I think that there was a little bit of a rivalry between Alice and Irena, but not to the extent of the original film. I think the original film, that was kind of like the crux of the plot, was like that love triangle. Whereas in this remake, that's a little bit of a side plot, but I kind of feel like the main thing is Malcolm McDowell's character, who is her brother, finding her, and then him trying to get her to have sex with him, because she's like, nah, bro, I'm good. And him trying to explain to her, like, what's going on vis-a-vis the whole turning into a cat situation, which I don't think she believes at first. Although, when he kind of tells her, it's like, don't you remember when we were kids and you used to do this and that and the other thing, and, like, you know what you are deep down. And she does seem to. So, that's, like, an added complicating factor. Interestingly, they added his character because they thought that in 1982, if they remade it exactly the way it was made in 1942, that people would see it as sexist because the one woman who was like sexually liberated or sexually aggressive had to be destroyed. And so they said, so we wanted the same kind of character, but we wanted to also add a male character so nobody could say, you know what I mean? So we're not just saying that it's like, oh, the sexual woman needs to be destroyed. It's like there's a dude that has the same problem too.
It's kind of funny that they did that. Now that you're spelling it out, like, yeah, that's what they were doing.
Yeah, that's why.
It's funny how they did that.
They explicitly said that was why they added him.
In the original, my interpretation of the original one is that it was kind of a fetish piece. That
a bit, yeah.
Yeah, that this chick was sexy, and that made her different. Her having to die at the end, I think, was just kind of like something that like I said, it was a political thing. But the way I interpreted it, the way I remember interpreting it is that it was supposed to be a tragedy that she died.
Yeah.
So I think they could play it. They could do what the censors wanted, but they could play it as if, man, she was hot as fuck, and then she died. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's how I interpreted it. That's how I remember interpreting it.
And I had to look it up because it had been a while since I'd seen the original Cat People, and I said I remembered that Irena, spoiler alert for a very old movie, died at the end, but I couldn't remember how she got killed. So I looked it up. What she ends up doing is going to the zoo and letting the other panther out, and the panther kills her. Okay. And then the panther gets run over by a car.
Okay.
So she doesn't get... Because for a second I thought, well, didn't her husband kill her? I thought maybe her husband killed her. But he didn't, because I couldn't remember. But I knew she died somehow. In this version, again, spoiler alert for a movie from 1982, she doesn't actually die. She asks Oliver to kill her, and he won't.
Yeah.
So then she says, well, have sex with me one more time, turn me into a cat, and I'm just going to stay like that. And I'll just be a cat. She's going to live
with her own kind.
She's going to live with her own kind.
Yeah.
And then he put her in the zoo, though. And I'm like, that was kind of shitty. I mean, I guess you can't let her run around loose because she's going to kill people. But
yeah, he was taking care of her.
Yeah, so he just took care of her.
He's feeding her steak and shit through the bars.
And petting her and whatnot.
Yeah.
She seemed okay.
And I was like, okay, that's an acceptable ending as opposed to her dying. But I was like, you think he would have figured out some way, because he was a professional cat handler.
Yeah.
You'd think there'd be a way where he could have kept her at home. Now, not legal, but people do it.
Maybe his girlfriend, Alice...
Yeah, that's right. He remated. Right.
Was like, yeah, no, I'm not having the other woman in cat form
laying
around my house all the time.
Yeah, so maybe it makes more sense the way they did it, because then she would get jealous of the new girlfriend, and she would kill her.
And she would kill her, yeah.
And then she turned back into a woman.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why they didn't do it that way. She was too dangerous.
Yeah. She had to be contained.
And too much all that sexy in one spot, man. You can animal
too much sexy in one form. You can't have that just walking around free.
I do remember in the old black and white 40s original is that she was being shown as a desirable sex symbol. That she was,
although she was a lot more, obviously it's the 40s, so she was like a lot more buttoned up.
She was more demure and shit.
Yeah.
But she was supposed to be attracted to her, and you were supposed to like her.
Yeah, she was a very sympathetic character. Played by, I believe that actress' name is Simone.
So the original wasn't sexist. It was a good movie for its time.
Well, I don't think they said the original was sexist. They just said that if we made it like that today, people might perceive it that way.
Yeah,
or interpret it that way, and they didn't want that to happen. So they said, so we added the brother character, the male character, so there was also a male character that had the same problem. And as it turns out, actually I kind of liked that addition, because the Malcolm McDowell addition to it, he's also a werecat, and he's been living in New Orleans this whole time with Famali, his voodoo priestess, housekeeper, companion person, who also lives in his house.
She was his manager in a certain way.
And he's essentially a serial killer.
Yeah, he's living as a serial killer.
And Famali knows about it.
Yeah, she's covering for him.
And is kind of covering for him, because he'll go out and like get hookers.
Yeah.
And turn into a cat, and then he kills him and tears him up, and then like he turns back into a person, and
she helps him with the bodies.
Oops.
Yeah.
Did it again.
And it was my interpretation that Famali was in love with him.
I kind of got that too. They don't spend a lot of time. I would have liked a little bit more development of Famali's character.
She was jealous when the sister came over.
True.
So I think she was...
It was pretty low-key, but yeah.
She was low-key. She was actually... The reason why she was helping him is because she was in love with him.
Well, because she ends up going to jail for him.
She went to jail for him, yeah.
You know, because
it's another tragedy.
He gets killed. Yeah. But because she knew about it.
Yeah.
Like, she was keeping him, or either she was keeping him or he was keeping himself in like a cage down in the basement, like with chains and stuff.
Yeah.
But the cops go down there and they find like all these fucking bodies. Like pieces, like half-eaten bodies and shit like that.
And stuff, yeah.
And apparently Famali knew about it and wasn't doing anything. So they arrested her for like, you know, accessory after the fact or whatever.
She was aiding.
Because she was, aiding and abetting. I guess that's what that would be. Because she knew what he was doing.
She was his manager.
Yeah,
she would make sure that he would turn back into a man.
Yeah.
Is what she was doing.
Right near the beginning of the movie, like pretty much as soon as Irena, Nastassja Kinski's character, gets to New Orleans, not long after that, her brother disappears like for several days, and they don't know where he is. And so Famali's like, oh, he does this all the time. He's probably down at the mission. He works with this church or whatever. And she goes down there, and he's not there. And it turns out that he has he tried to kill a hooker, but she got away. And so he was still in cat form. So then the zoo people come, and they're like, hey, there's this panther like trapped in this like flop house hotel.
Yeah.
that attacked a hooker and fucked her leg all up. And so they capture it and take it to the zoo, not knowing that it's a person.
Yeah.
Not knowing that it's Malcolm
McDowell.
It's a werecat, yeah. So they keep him in this thing, and he ends up like tearing off
one of the handlers' arms.
One of the handlers, Ed Bigley Jr.'s arm.
And then he comes out.
Good effect, actually. That was a good effect. He pulled his arm.
There's good gore in it.
Yeah, it is pretty gory. I'd forgotten it was like that gory.
And there were some special effects that happened. I was like, what? And it's some of it's almost on the par, special effects wise, with American Werewolf in London. The transformation scenes aren't quite as intense.
I mean, but nothing's as good as the American Werewolf in London
but
transformation scene.
But
that's like iconic.
They got the job done though. They were suggestive enough to get the job done.
Yeah. There's
even a scene where one of the panthers gets killed, and they do an autopsy on it, and they're taking it out of the damn morgue thing, refrigerator, and I'm going, that's a real cat. That's a real cat.
It was, yeah.
And I'm going like, but then you could see it breathing. So I said, okay.
Yeah, it was just sedated. It was just because we're sitting there going, I will be really okay. You're not fucking. This isn't Cannibal Holocaust. I'm like killing real animals for your movie.
Yeah.
You could see he was kind of. I was like, is he breathing?
He wasn't cutting into a real cat. There was just
you could. They're not going to do that for a movie.
Yeah, it's going like because it's a beautiful cat.
Oh yeah,
the cat they showed is a beautiful.
He's just sedated like
big black panther, and he's probably 145 pounds, 150 pounds, and And he looks great on camera, even though I think he bashed his head into the bars one time during one of those shots. When he got upset, but he jumps up half. He could jump from the. They were trying to shoot him with the dart, and you could tell that was a real cat in there trying to get away. And it jumps up so high, its head hits the damn ceiling in that little room. Tearing the bed up. That cat was fucking pissed.
Freaking out.
Somebody's cat.
That's what I said.
That was a real cat. Though.
That cat was a good actor.
Yeah.
I hope they didn't upset that cat too much to get it to do that, but I know they have ways of making the animals do that kind of stuff, without hurting them, but...
Contrary to what a lot of people believe, there's a guy just a couple miles from here that has a shit ton of them in his house. He's famous for them. He's a dealer. He's kind of like the Lion King, but he's a little more...
He was Tiger King?
No, he was a Tiger King. Yeah, he's kind of like Tiger King, but he's a lot more known. He's more legitimate. He's got a farm of them up there, and people do legally own them, and they have them in their houses. But you have to have fucking approved habitats and security and shit. It's a professional farm where he has them, and he breeds them and sells them. But I don't think the clients are American. It's a regulated industry. Not all of them are like Tiger King, but it's just weird. It's a weird.
Yeah,
industry.
That guy's got some issues.
But here's the thing. Those cats are coming out of nowhere. They're not coming from the wild. They're being bred in captivity, and eventually all their habitats are going to be gone, and that's the only places where those cats will be, in captivity. And mankind has to learn to live with these things, and really, making them good pets is the key to their survival long term, until civilization collapses and goes back to prehistoric times. Then they could live, but for now, that's what they. And I've seen videos of guys in Russia that own them, and they just fucking cuddle up with them, and they're just a normal cat. He loves those cats and feeds them. Just as long as they're being taken care of and they're happy, they can be just as good as a dog or a house cat. Love the owners and stuff, and good with people. They're not vicious. If they're hand raised, they're not vicious towards people. But
most animals, if they're hand raised by humans,
not
always true. There's been some famous cases of like chimps and stuff like that. That were hand raised.
That's different though.
They'll just tear your face off.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. Chimps are in a different fucking thing. They're a lot more dangerous.
If they're raised around, I would probably never trust them 100% still, but. Most animals, if they're raised around humans,
they don't see humans as food.
Won't turn on you. But
I've seen animals raised by hand that I never would have thought would be possible, like badgers and wolverines. People own them. It's illegal, but they're just
wolverines are so cranky.
And you would think that in my early upbringing about animals that would be impossible, but no, they can learn to. I don't know if they've been fixed or what. Maybe maybe they don't have the same amount of hormones. I don't know, but. I've seen badgers fucking get along with people and I always thought raccoons were fierce, because whenever we get a hold of a raccoon to be in a garbage and try to get it out of a damn garbage bin or something like that, it would hissing and growling. But no, they're evidently fucking sweet, It just depends on what kind of pressure they're under. Just like anything else.
They're just mad because you're taking them out of the garbage. They were eating.
No, they're trapped in the garbage. They can't get out. Like a big dumpsters.
Yeah.
They'll be in a dumpster and they can't get out. They can't fucking jump up high enough. So you got to go in there and get them out of the dumpster.
Yeah.
I've had to do that. You put a box in the corner and chase them in the box and close the lid, then just hand the box up. That's how you do it. You can't touch them; they'll tear you up. They're wild.
Tom Baker says Malcolm had a blast and he got to be naked again. Yeah, like I said, I feel like Malcolm McDowell kind of enjoyed being naked. Really.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's naked in this, but not. I think John Hurd is more naked in this. Nastassja Kinski is the most naked person in this movie. She's naked for like half of it at least.
This is Nastassja Kinski naked the movie.
Pretty much.
It's a showcase, and I'll give a rundown. The two guys for the time for fucking. Their physicality was pretty good. I wouldn't call them skinny fat or anything. They're lean enough to do the job of being a male sex symbol for the movie. They're adequate for the roles. In other words, the girls involved would be attracted to guys like that. So it's not unrealistic what you're seeing. The the two girls. You got Nastassja Kinski, and who's the other one? The redhead?
Annette O'Toole.
Annette O'Toole. Out of the two, man, Annette O'Toole is fucking swinging. Okay, she looks great, and all natural bodies. They both look pretty athletic, like they've been working out. She's tall, but taller than Nastassja. Big boobs for a natural. They're not implant queens or anything, but she just looks great. Nastassja Kinski, she looks really good in the movie. It looks like she's been doing gymnastics work. It's not an untrained body. She's been doing something, probably gymnastics, swimming, lean, good lower body, the good muscular build. It's not like, which was kind of in 81, 82 when this came out, around that time. Mostly into these skinny coke whore looking chicks with no legs, no ass, just big fake titties, But so she looked great. Face on both of them, beautiful, really good looking women. Nastassja, teeth. She got kind of fucking strange teeth, but kind of addictive. You look at her and go, man, some funny teeth, but then afterwards, it's kind of sexy mouth, though.
Well, considering that her dad is Klaus Kinski, who looks like Klaus Kinski, she is pretty lucky she turned out looking good.
Klaus looks kind of satanic, and that was the evil bitch himself.
Klaus is pretty
weird. That dude was fucking weird, man.
Great actor, but wow,
weird.
What a nut.
Yeah, and she comes off as edgy but normal. Nastassja seems normal to me. She's kind of like an edgy goth chick for the time. And you know what? Her acting skills were good.
Yeah, I feel like she was in more than just this.
Yeah,
but I kind of feel like this is one of the main movies that I remember her from.
She's good. I can't believe that really on the back of this she didn't get more roles. Maybe it was too much nudity for the American audience.
Probably, I think that's probably
this shit's too European. It's too
That's
European.
That's probably what the case was.
That's probably what it was.
They're like, too smutty.
She's too comfortable with nudity. She needs to go back to Europe and make European movies. Because she has a European accent, but it works. In the role that she's
like I said,
playing
in the original film, the woman was Serbian. So in this one, it's weird because I don't even think they say where she came from.
No,
I thought she came from Canada, but I don't think they said that's where she was from, because the whole thing with
their parents were on tour with the circus.
Yeah, we're like with so you don't
circus. Really know
so
where
I don't think they ever really say where she came from. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, they actually do homage to very famous, iconic scenes from the original 1942 Val Lewton film, which was... Now, they changed this one up a bit, because if you know anything about horror history, the golden age of horror, anything like that, you know that there's a very, very famous scene in the original Cat People where Irena... or no, it's not Irena, it's I think it's Alice, actually, is walking down the street. And it's a great sequence. It's very suspenseful. It's like all dark and creepy. And she's walking. You can hear her footsteps. And she thinks that she hears somebody behind her that's like growling or something. She thinks the cat is behind her. And it goes on for a while. And then all of a sudden there's like whoosh. There's this noise where like this bus and the air brakes like come up. And it sounds like a cat growling for a second. But it's just the bus. And it was so effective, that scene, that for many years going forward, like essentially any jump scare in a movie was called a Lewton bus, like named after Val Lewton, because that's what they were referring to. So they actually do an homage of that scene in this movie too, although they kind of do it, it's not on a street at night, it's actually Alice is out jogging, like in a park or something, and then like she kind of gets stalked by what she thinks is an animal, but then it just turns out it's a dog. And then she's kind of running, and then like a bus like goes right in her path and stuff. And I was like, oh, I see what you did there. And then the scene that they do later with the swimming pool, where she's like in a gym and she gets naked and she gets in the pool and she's swimming around, and then she hears something like in the corner, but it goes dark and then she can't see it and all this other shit, and she's kind of freaking out. And then suddenly Irena comes out and is like, what's your problem? You know what I mean? It's just me. Like, I wasn't stalking you. What are you talking about? And then she goes back and, like, all her clothes are torn up. That's pretty much a shot. I don't know if it's shot for shot, but it's, like, pretty much exactly like the scene from the original film. The only thing I didn't really like, because I liked this movie a lot more than I remembered liking it when I saw it in the 80s.
Definitely.
The only thing I don't like about it, I thought Malcolm McDowell's death was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I don't think because he disappears from the movie for a couple of days, like in the context of the movie's timeline, and so you don't see him for a while, and then he comes back, and then there's a couple scenes of him like trying to mac on his sister and all this other shit, but then like he gets killed like not too long after that, after they find out he's a serial killer and they find all these bodies and stuff.
Another thing I must say is that McDowell did a great job in the role that he was given. But I think the way the role was written kind of wastes Malcolm McDowell's fucking abilities.
Yeah, I think he should have been in it more.
Yeah, and the character that he's playing is very ham-handed when it comes to fucking coming on to his sister. And he doesn't really seem to have a very good way with women, which is kind of strange because he's such a successful serial killer and he does have women that love him. He's been around a long time. And he's got these special abilities and powers. So you think that he would have been able to charm his sister a little bit better than he ended up doing. But he couldn't really, that character could not really, articulate what their problems were as a species. He just got to just dive in and get the pussy, basically. Think about it. Well, he didn't even warm her up to the idea or to explain to her what the problem was with being a cat people.
Yeah.
He does, but it's very ham-handed.
Yeah, he probably could have, like, just eased her into it.
He should have been.
Rather than being like, basically, we're cat people, and we can only have sex with other cat people.
So
otherwise, we cat out and tear people's faces off, which is bad. Yeah. So, get your sweet ass over here.
He came at her too desperate.
Well, like I said, I guess...
He busts in through her fucking window, all wet, jumps in the bed, and he goes, hey, you, come here.
In a way, I understand that, because he says, when she first gets there, like, he's looking at her like he wants to eat her, and it's like, he's been looking for her for a long time, because that was his... She got sent off to foster homes, and he didn't know where she was for many years, so he's been doing this whole thing where he just goes and has sex with prostitutes, or he just picks random women up, and then ends up killing them.
Even if he likes them, he doesn't like it.
When he turns into a cat, and he doesn't really like it. So, so he'd been looking for her, so he could actually have sex with someone without catting out and killing people. But like I said, I guess he just came on a little too strong. Yeah. That's all.
He picks up one girl at the cemetery. She was a hot, blonde, southern bombshell. Big boobs and everything. And she's trying to get him into it. He takes her home. She takes him to a motel or her place.
I don't know where it was.
I think it might have been a motel.
Yeah, I think it was.
A high-end motel. And she's trying to get him into it. And she's saying one thing, oh, come on, it's all right. All guys have this problem. He goes, yeah, but they don't have my problem. Because he can't really get it up because he's thinking, like, I like you and I'm going to have to kill you. Yeah. Once this happens.
Like, I'm not going to be able to control it.
Because I'll turn into a cat and kill you and eat you. So she blows him. Next thing you know, she's dead. Okay. Yeah. It's okay, baby. I can handle this. This great scene, the fucking also showcasing the chick's big boobs. Fucking got the teenage guys to watch the movie. The one thing I didn't like about most of this fucking movie, it kept getting on me, is that all the southern accents were fake.
A lot of them were, yeah.
Yeah, they're fake southern accents, and I'm like, this shit's filmed.
Most of those actors were not from there. So.
This shit's filmed on fucking. This shit's filmed on location. You know what I mean? Fucking, you think that you could get more locals, and you think that you could tell people that that's not actually how they sound. You know what I mean? It's not hard to do it the right way. Some of them are just over the top fake southern accents that, like, one of the ones that Hollywood used to use a lot, not only at this time, but back even in the 60s, 50s, was a southern aristocratic accent that only very rich people that had northern heritages used, maybe back in the early 1900s.
You talking about like the Foghorn Leghorn?
The Foghorn. Well, no. Actually, that was pretty. That was the Crocker. I say, hey, Wendy, hey, boy, come here. No. That was like my granddad's generation. Hey, boy, son. Everybody was boy or son. But that exists. No, I'm just talking about the ones that kind of sounded like Katharine Hepburn.
Right.
You remember? You know that one?
I mean, she kind of had her own thing going on.
Yeah, but they had someone that kind of they fake Hollywood accents that sounded like Catherine Hepburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody talked like that in the South.
Mark says there is a third homage to the original. John Hurd uses a T-square to defend himself, and his character uses one as an architect in the original. Ooh, good. That's a good call. I didn't even notice that. Because, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the original, so I'd forgotten that dude was an architect. But another thing that I was going to say that I didn't... I think Malcolm McDowell should have been in it more. Like, because when he got killed, like I said, it seemed a little anticlimactic. And then the movie goes on for, like, another good while, you know? I didn't like the way they did the exposition of... Or, I don't even know if it was an exposition dump so much as... Nastassja Kinski's character coming to the realization, well, I'm a cat person and I'm going to be a cat person, like kind of coming to terms with it. They do this weird thing where after her brother dies, she decides to leave because I guess she thinks everyone's going to be in danger from her and shit like that. So there's a whole sequence where she gets on the train, and then while she's on the train going, I don't remember where she was going, but it's somewhere else. And Richmond. She was going to Richmond, Virginia, because that's all the money she had. So she was going there, and while she's on the train, I presume they don't really spell this out explicitly, but she has what I'm assuming is like a vision or something like that, where her dead brother comes back and like shows her, like takes her back to this desert kind of thing, like where their people are from, and you know, we've been like this for thousands of years, and this is our heritage and blah blah blah, and you just need to accept it and stuff. And then he basically says, well, you have to go back, and then she just goes right back to New Orleans and, you know, gets back with John Hurd and does all that kind of situation where she, like I said, I think she tries to get him to kill her, but he doesn't want to do that because he's in love with her. So she just wants to turn into a cat and just stay like that indefinitely, which they do end up doing. So she doesn't get killed at the end of this movie like she does at the first one, but I think that they could have done that. I just think they could have been a more elegant way to do that, because it seemed kind of pointless that she's like, oh, I'm leaving town, and then like 5 minutes she's on a train, has this vision about her dead brother, and is like, oh, never mind, I'm going back. It just seemed like it was kind of pointless. I was like, she could have just had like a dream, like while she was still, she didn't have to go anyplace. I was like, that just seemed like kind of a pointless digression.
Yeah. I don't like the way they handled that whole dream
like it's not a huge deal, but like, yeah, like, because it was essentially just a dream sequence. I'm like, she could have just stayed at home.
At home and had that dream.
And had the same dream.
Yeah, it didn't make sense why she had to go on the train.
Yeah, why did she have to go on the train and then come right back again? That didn't make any sense.
The dream could have been shown to her by the ghost of her brother. That would have made a lot more sense, and that could have happened at her house.
Yeah,
it didn't have to go.
It didn't have to be super cheeseball. Like, yeah. I kind of feel like, if you're going to have in a movie a ghost give you information, you kind of have to do it like in a dream sequence or a vision like that, because you can't just have like a ghost showing up and be like, hey, I'm going to tell you some shit. Like, that's like really cheeseball. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that was probably the best way to do that. But I just don't understand. I didn't have an issue with the dream sequence per se, like, and finding out all that information. I just had an issue with why'd she have to go on a train and then come right back again. Like, that seemed kind of dumb. Like, you could have just had the dream.
I knew how they should have done it. Favali should have been released. Famali should have been released from prison because he didn't really have anything on her.
Yeah.
And then she talks to her.
Yeah, they could have done that too.
And then she gives her basically LSD, and fucking they do like a seance type thing. And in another world, she sees what it is.
Yeah.
Then you could have that sequence, something like that.
Yeah, see, that might have worked too.
Because then
that would have put Famali like back more in the story too.
Into more in the story.
She needed to be more in the story also.
And then you'd be more Louisiana with that, where you got like a Bocour.
Yeah.
She's like a Bocour, which is like a fucking.
And she's like showing you like, this is what your brother wanted to tell you.
Yeah, a Haitian fucking witch.
Yeah, you could have done some voodoo shit. Which would have been cool because I like.
Yeah, which that's all because New Orleans is all about.
Yeah, if you're gonna set it
voodoo and shit, you know.
If you're gonna set it in New Orleans, you need some voodoo shit.
Yeah, New Orleans is a pirate town. It had people from all over the world. It started off as part of France, but the British were there, Americans were there, the Haitians were there, Jamaicans were there. Fucking everybody was there, and it was just a big kind of like, wouldn't call it a melting pot, more like a fucking patchwork quilt of fucking factions, but it was all just part of the normal culture there. So I would have brought Famali back into the story, and then they'd have a spiritual experience.
Yeah, because she just ends up in jail.
Yeah.
And, like, Nastassja Kinski goes to visit her one time, like, in jail, but they don't ever let her out. I mean,
she should have been let out.
Yeah.
On something on some kind of technicality, or the fact that, that she couldn't have known.
Yeah, like maybe they didn't have enough evidence.
Not enough evidence,
or something
right,
like that. And then she could have come back. Yeah, that probably would have been good. Because, like I said, that would have brought her back into the story more. And I think that they should have left Malcolm McDowell's character alive longer.
Yeah, and if you bring Famali back into the story, she could become a mentor. I knew your brother.
Yeah,
he told me all about how this shit happens, and you're doing it. You're not cat peopling right. That's what she.
You're cat peopling wrong.
You're cat peopling all wrong. See, that's how I would have gone. There's enough there for that. That's why this movie could be rebooted. You could do this again.
Yeah, because I mean, this was '82, this remake, so it's like might as well. I don't know if Universal would ever do it. Although they do seem to be interested. That I mean, in Guillermo del Toro's doing a new Frankenstein and all of that, so they could do like a dark universe kind of situation.
I would do this shit Blumhouse or A24.
Yeah,
get one of the small, write a fucking screenplay and fucking run it by them. Send it to their ass.
And you could do it kind of more, because I like the original story. You could go kind of a more psychological way with it too, but then you could kind of smut it up like the 82.
It would have to be.
You could kind of do like a halfway point.
It has to be smutted.
And I do like the New Orleans angle. Like I said, I think they should have voodooed it up more.
Yeah, I would keep it there.
If you're gonna set it there, and if you're gonna have Famali's character in there, who was essentially, I don't know if she was like a voodoo priestess or anything, but they kind of cast her that way.
She's a stand-in for that with her accent and everything.
Yeah, so it's like
she was mixed.
So it's like they probably should have done more with that.
Yeah.
It's not a huge criticism. I'm just saying it's like that would have been cool if...
it'd have been a better use of those characters. But if I were to reboot this, I would launch it off of this platform.
Because if you don't have a voodoo angle, you don't really need her.
No.
I mean, you could take her out of the movie, and it wouldn't really matter.
But New Orleans is a good setting for this.
Yeah, it is.
Because then that takes it back into the Anne Rice vampire-type universe, where it's happening also partially in New Orleans. So, you know what I mean? It takes it into that realm. Also, wasn't Blackula and Blackula Scream? That was New Orleans, wasn't it?
Well, for sure, Blackula Scream was.
Yeah, Blackula Scream.
I guess the first one was Blackula. Also
no, I don't think it was.
I don't think so, but the second one was.
The second one was, and you see that takes it back into the realm of Southern Gothic. Look how big Sinners was.
Yeah, they could totally do something like that. Yeah. That would be rad, actually.
That's what I would do with it.
You could go a more Sinners direction.
Yeah.
But with werecats instead of vampires.
Right. And you have the heritage of the other movies of cat people. But the thing is it has to be an R-rated movie. There has to be a lot of sexuality and nudity in it. But that's
and a lot of gore.
Yeah, and a lot of gore, but that's not really the central part. It's got to have a good story.
Well, like I said, the sexual element, it's not like it wasn't there in the 1940s one. It's just they couldn't show it. Everything had to be implication. But the original story was absolutely... She turns into a cat if she gets sexually aroused.
Yeah. Oh,
so she can't have sex with anybody because she'll turn into a cat and tear your face off.
And of course we're not talking about some ugly fat girl. This chick's hot. And she's likable. So the male audience of the 40s is like, God damn, I want to hit, but then she killed me.
Worth it.
That's like that's a hot ass monster.
Yeah,
and even when it turns into a monster, it's not an ugly monster; it's a fucking panther.
So it's like kind of a hot monster.
It's kind of even the monster's hot, and then so it is a good idea. And I think this second version, is a great direction.
because they leaned into the erotic element, because you could in the 80s. You know what I mean? You can nowadays. You couldn't back then.
The vampire is supposed to be a hot monster. It's just that this is just another form of it, and it was originally a female. But so was the vampires originally female too, Carmilla.
Yeah.
So it was female.
Which came out before Dracula.
Yeah. So it's
not the movie, the book.
The book, yeah. So
20-something years before Dracula.
So actually. Both vampires and cat people were a hot female monster.
So even back then, they understood the appeal of like hot monsters.
Yeah.
I just feel like people didn't. Maybe back then, like they didn't know. Like people liked it, but they didn't know why they liked it.
It's because they couldn't portray a desirable woman as being real fucking sexy. Because then that would mean she was bad.
Yeah.
But if you have a sexy monster this bad, that's more acceptable.
Well, because she can't help it.
She can't help it, right? She just does what she is. But you see, normal women, they're all good and virginal. They're just waiting to get married. They're just waiting to get married and get fat. That's all they're for.
They're gonna squeeze all your babies out.
That's all they're for. So that's what they're doing.
Sit around with
it's the Madonna whore complex.
It is, yeah, writ large.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
But so that's why I can see why in the 1982 version they added the male character, because they were like, well, we didn't want it to look like
a Madonna whore complex.
Yeah, we didn't want it to look like that. Like, the sexy, sexually liberated or sexually aggressive woman
is a monster
and like has to be destroyed. And they didn't destroy her at the end. She's kind of tamed at the end, but it was sort of that was her choice though. Because he wouldn't kill her. She wanted him to kill her.
No, he loved her, gave her out.
Yeah.
You're going to be...
So she's like, okay, well, I just want to be a cat then.
Yeah, you're going to be a cat under my care.
Yeah. So he did kind of tame her in the end.
Yeah. It looked depressing, though. That cat did not look happy in that cage.
That's what I was thinking, too. I said it'd be different... Because I was thinking it'd be different if
she was in the wild.
If they were in the wild. Or just even somewhere like Animal Kingdom, where it's like a big safari park where they can run around free.
He could have taken her to the bayou.
You know?
He could have taken her to the bayou.
And then they could still take care of her.
Yeah.
They could still take care of her, but she could run around loose, like a more modern zoo or a more modern safari park would be. Because they don't really have a lot of zoos, at least in the United States anymore, where they cram the animals in those tiny little cages like
it's
that.
It's a cell. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like shitty.
Yeah, and the orangutan was in that cell watching TV.
Yeah.
With the man. The man was watching TV with
watches soap operas.
Yeah. So they were kind of making fun of the old zoos. They were prisons, basically.
Yeah, because like I said, they built. It looked like they built a set, and the zoo looked pretty much exactly like the old one set from the 1940s movie, which I believe was also a set. Because like I said, back in the 40s, I'm pretty sure they filmed almost everything on a set.
Yeah.
At least those Universal movies.
Looked like some out of a Batman flick.
It did, yeah.
Lion statues and stuff.
Yeah. See, Brian said this is what I said earlier. They said they dyed cougars black because panthers couldn't be trained.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah, that's so a lot. Yeah, so a lot of the cats in this are actually cougars because evidently
a panther. It's a cougar.
You can't really tell.
Panthers and cougars are all very similar. I mean, lions and even tigers can all be kind of habituated to humans if they're hand raised. They're all about the same. Even little servals and different cats. It's just. They weren't state of the art back then, but no, you can own all those big cats, and the ancients owned them. Fucking Romans had that shit as house pets, no problem. Big old full grown lion walking around.
Might eat one of the kids every now and then, but that's okay. Nah, you've got more.
They were feeding them so much, you know what I mean? They were raised and they pet them, you know. They're doing that in India too.
Oh well, we've got 5 other kids. Yeah, that's fine. He can snack on one every now and then. You know what I mean?
They're friendly if they're raised around people.
I wonder. I was actually wondering this while I was watching this movie. I wonder what percentage of dudes, if a woman said, "Hey, if I have sex with you, is a very good possibility I'll turn into a panther and possibly tear your face off." I wonder how many dudes would just be like,
I'll take the risk.
I'll take that risk.
Yeah, I probably would.
I think a lot of dudes probably.
I'd say, fucking. What kind of cat we talking about? I'd be like,
how big of a cat?
I could get out of there. I can get out of there.
I'm pretty fast. I could probably.
Pretty fast. As soon as I hit and done, I put that shit. I'll rub some. I'll wipe some of it off of you. And I'll rub. Okay. I'll pull out. Wipe it down. I'll wipe it down. Use the pull out method, and then I'll fucking. I'm gone, man. I'm gone.
Running with cock
locking
swinging.
the door behind me. I'll call you later.
When you've gotten yourself back together. When you're back in human form.
When you're back in human form, hit me up. I'll be back.
I mean, kill somebody else. Not me. Just go kill somebody else. Go kill a bomber.
Left the window open.
Then I'll call you. I'll call you tomorrow and see if you're right. See if you've murdered anyone. That would be a very awkward situation.
Yeah. I ain't saying no to that, especially if it was like Nastassja Kinski or the redhead.
Yeah, the redhead was not a workout.
The redhead was actually hotter.
That we know of.
I think she's hotter, but she was hotter. But if she was working out, it says, okay, we're just going to time it. How long does it take
for
the transformation?
You have to set it.
Okay. Plenty of time, baby. Plenty of time.
Well, yeah, because they did show that the first time that Nastassja Kinski had sex with John Hurt's character, Oliver,
it was wild.
It took a little while because I think they were trying to tease it out in the movie. It's like, maybe she's crazy. Maybe she doesn't really turn into a cat. Because she woke up and she's like, I'm still a person. And then like she goes in the bathroom and stuff. But then she starts saying, she's like, oh, wait, I think I am maybe turning into a cat.
Yeah.
So you have, he had time to like fall asleep.
Yeah, he was falling asleep afterwards.
And then she had a little time to like go in the bathroom and stuff before she like catted out. So
he achieved post-nut clarity and everything. He had enough time.
I know. Klaus is laughing. I'll call you later.
Yeah.
Calling up the werecat.
I'm opening the window. Like that, opening the window, I'm fucking tiptoeing to the door and shit. Knocking. I'll see you later. Get my keys out.
He's got his clothes like
he
already
time.
like.
He had time.
Yeah, he totally did have time.
He had time. Yeah.
And the second time when she asked him, you have to have sex with me again, so I turn into a cat permanently, and then don't let me kill anybody. He actually it was pretty kinky actually. He actually ties her to the bed.
Yeah, it was like a bondage scene.
Yeah, so it was like a pretty long like bondage scene.
That way she turned into a cat. She was tied up. I guess he hit her with a tranquilizer and then packed her up.
That's another option. Yeah. You could just do that. Like as soon as
ketamine.
As soon as you nut, you just go.
They even said
she just falls
you
asleep.
got the ketamine ready, and he's fucking loading that shit up in the dark gun.
Yeah,
ketamine. Yeah. And they showed that cat fucking zonked out on ketamine.
So you just have to have ketamine at home all the time if you were dating a werecat.
Yeah. Just hit you with the ketamine and then just drop you off somewhere when you turn into that cat. Let that cat.
Little pro tip.
Yeah.
For all of you dating werecats out there.
Yeah.
Keep the ketamine handy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she'll tear your arm off.
Yeah.
And you'll die horribly on the floor, just like Ed Begley Jr. did. You know what I mean? Poor guy. Yeah, he got his arm. He got his arm clean torn off.
Ooh la la. Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap this.
Gotta wrap this shit up.
We gotta wrap this shit up.
All right. Wednesday, we're doing a show. What's the topic?
The show, we're actually doing 2 murders that occurred on Halloween. They're not connected to each other. However, both of them are very famous for different reasons. One of them happened on Halloween of 1975. That's the murder of Martha Moxley. Okay. That murder, very famous because possibly one of the, like a Kennedy from the extended Kennedy family was involved.
All right.
And the second one happened in Halloween 2005, and that is Teresa Halbach. And that one is famous because it was the basis for the Netflix series Making a Murderer. And there is some controversy over the dude that got convicted of her murder, whether he really did it or not. Spoiler alert, I think he probably did. But you know what I mean? I think the series was trying to say otherwise. But I don't know. We'll get into it on Wednesday night. But like I said, I picked those 2 murders in particular. 1, because they're both, pretty famous, and 2, because they both happened on Halloween, just at different years. And Halloween is coming up on Friday.
All right, Klaus and Tanya, we'll see y'all later.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the show.
Yeah. So we'll be back on Wednesday. So have a good rest of your night. Have a good day tomorrow. And we'll see you guys again on Wednesday night.